Legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Coming up now on Primetime, Guam today records its 17th and 18th COVID-related fatalities. Plus, with the surge in coronavirus cases, GovGuam is looking into a possible alternate care facility. And we'll tell you about a program that allows for digital monitoring of arriving travelers who need to quarantine. Hafa and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, our island, as we mentioned at the top of the show, is now mourning 2 more deaths due to COVID-19, making 7 people that have passed away in a week from coronavirus. The 17th fatality was at Guam Regional Medical City in Dededo at 8:46 this morning, being a 31-year-old woman who had underlying health issues. She is Guam's youngest COVID-19 related death. Then just after 10 at GMH in Tamuning, a 65-year-old man with comorbidities lost his life after having been admitted to the facility on September the 3rd. He is the 18th COVID-related fatality. Governor Lou Leon-Guro wrote, quote, "We cannot afford to lose any more people in this pandemic. Please do what you need to do to protect yourselves and your loved ones." In other news tonight, GovGuam is looking at the long-term possibility of opening a consolidated isolation and alternate care facility. Here's Civil Defense Administrator Charles Esteves with more.
But the long-term goal is to actually have a consolidated isolation facility / alternate care facility. And when we say alternate care facility, it's basically, the use of those federal medical stations that we talked about, those beds, and putting them in a ballroom. That way, if someone that is asymptomatic in these isolation facilities should develop symptoms, we don't have to move them to GMH or SNF or whatever facility they're designated to go at, and just move, downstairs to this alternate care facility and be monitored from there.
The Bayview Hotel is currently serving as the government's consolidated isolation facility. Well, if you want out, then you'll have to agree to digital monitoring, so says the chair of the governor's Physicians Advisory Group, Dr. Hoan Nguyen. He says members discussed changing the 14-day mandatory quarantine protocol for all arriving passengers into Guam.
We talk about planning to testing out on day 5, day 7, so people can go home if they test negative. But the only thing that we want to add is that you gotta have a download like a SARE alert, some type of apps that increase the monitoring of the home quarantine.
The SARE alert system is something that was brought up about a month ago, as the system's website says the program would allow public health officials to enroll individuals who are ill or at risk of developing a coronavirus infection. The open source platform enables individuals to enter their symptoms daily, providing public health departments real-time insights to monitor and contain the spread of the virus. SARE Alert offers multiple access methods, including web, text, email, and phone calls. Dr. Nguyen says if travelers want to go on home quarantine, it would be mandatory that they download the SARE Alert. No decisions have been made as of yet. And with today being Labor Day, the governor and lieutenant governor delivered a special message acknowledging the hard work of the men and women of the territory, especially those working through the COVID-19 era.
This Labor Day, let us remember and thank all the dedicated men and women who have been on the front lines fighting this virus.
Now, they need our help, and we call on each of you to be our frontliners in this fight against COVID-19. Do what we know works. Stay at home when possible. Wear your mask and social distance.
The governor says only then can we as an island stop the spread, save lives, and start on the road to economic recovery. Her full message is on our YouTube channel right now. Well, September, if you weren't aware, is Suicide Prevention Month, and the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center is pushing the conversation on prevention. In the year 2019, young adults between the ages of 20 to 39 were the highest demographic of death by suicide. Guam Behavioral Health has partnered with the University of Guam through their suicide prevention program, as well as GCC to help reach college-age students. But one program in particular is geared towards a much younger demographic. as Guam Focus on Life Project Coordinator Dr. Christiana Whitman explains.
The Guam Focus on Life Youth Suicide Prevention Program. And it's actually, Guam has had this grant in the past, but we just got awarded it again earlier this year. And it specifically focuses on youth and young adults from 10 to 24 years old, but obviously, we look at the bigger picture of prevention in terms of preventing suicides on the island. It's not a surprise that suicide is an issue on Guam. It's been an ongoing issue on the island. In 2019, there were 31 suicide deaths by suicide, and that was a lower number than the year prior, but it's still not, it's still not good enough. So we continue to do the work in prevention to hopefully minimize these numbers and someday get to zero.
The key to prevention, says the good doctor, is getting help and making mental health an everyday conversation. With
help, there's hope, and the hardest part, I think, for anyone dealing with any difficulty is getting that help, initiating that step, because it takes a lot of courage to do that. It's not something we talk about all the time. It's not culturally, right? It's not something that it's not exciting to talk about, right? So I'd say that would be the biggest step in prevention, is having the conversation and making it, normalizing the process of getting help and assistance.
If you're in need of help and support, you're highly urged to contact our hotline, which is anonymous and available 24/7 at 647-8833. Well, at this hour, the folks at the Guam Election Commission are meeting on Zoom to ratify the candidates for the Guam Election Board and Consolidated Commission on Utilities. The deadline to file for both was on Friday, as 10 people in all are vying for 6 seats on the board. They are Salvador Villa, Deborah Allen, Dr. Mary Okada, Robert Crisostomo, Alexander Duenas, Peter Alexis Atta, and incumbents Mark Manjola, Maria Gutierrez, Lawrence Alcairo, and Lourdes Benavente. 5 are eyeing the 2 positions available on the Utilities Commission, namely Peter Roy Martinez, Nonito Vincent Blas, Kenneth Perez, and incumbents Dr. Judy Guthertz and Joe Duenas. Once certified, all candidates will gear up for the November 3rd general election. Please stay tuned, everybody. We are coming back right after this.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
As a kid, your dad always taught you new things. As an adult, he probably still does. Pedro just got his very first paycheck from his very first job. The only trouble is, he's not sure exactly how to deposit his check into his account. But Dad, as usual, knows exactly what to do. Using a Bank of Guam tutorial, Dad teaches Pedro how to access his money without ever stepping foot in the bank. There are many ways we can show our love, and teaching is one. Find easy-to-use online banking tutorials at bankofguam.com or on our Instagram and Facebook pages. Bank of Guam, member FDIC.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
When I need to pay my Docomo Pacific bills or manage my account, all I do is visit mydocomopacific.com. It's easy to set up. I just visit the website and click on the link to set up my account. I filled out the registration page starting with my account number. I received a text message with a temporary username and password. After making initial changes on my security settings, I'm in! Now I can make payments or manage my Docomo Pacific account without needing to leave home. With Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
We give most of our waking hours to preserve yours. When we're in it, nothing exists but you and the person that needs your help. It can be difficult at times. You can't help but take the weight of what you've seen home with you. There are days or nights that I need to leave it all behind, to let it go in the wind. But I'll always come back. I am a first responder, and I have given my life to this.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back, everybody. 28-year-old Daniel Savares was arrested and charged with aggravated assault as a third-degree felony and misdemeanor reckless conduct. The victim said he was sitting at the old Dededo police precinct when Savares, who works for the Dededo mayor's office, yelled at him to leave. Savares then allegedly retrieved a black pistol from his pickup and shot at him 5 times. The victim was hit twice, once in the thumb and once in the chest. At the site of the shooting, police saw a suspected pool of blood with a round silver BB bullet. Savares was interviewed and told police the victim was drinking in the area with several others. He alleged the victim refused to leave and threw an object at him. That's when he shot him with a BB gun. Police confiscated Savares' weapon with round bullets similar to the ones found at the system. Well, Columbus Choiter was arrested and charged twice with misdemeanor family violence. Police responded to an apartment here in Harmon at 12:40 a.m. on September the 4th. The first victim, a large Choiter, came home from work at around 11 and was drunk. He then allegedly punched her in the left eye and mouth and then hit her in the back of the head. The second victim corroborated the victim's report and said he feared for the first victim's safety. When police placed Choiter in the patrol car, court documents said he allegedly yelled in Chukese towards the apartment that he would, quote, kill them when he gets out of jail. The Department of Agriculture's Division of Aquatic and Wildlife Resource Fisheries and other news would like to remind people to be on the lookout for box jellyfish. They can be found on the beach or in the water, especially on reef flats. Box jellyfish are anticipated from the 10th to the 12th, as both box jellyfish and Indo-Pacific man-o-wars can sting even if washed on the beach and dead. If you spot any, please call 735-0289. In inspiring news, a mother and daughter duo are holding a device drive for elementary and high school students struggling with online classes. With Guam still not out of the clear from COVID-19, schools are forced to remain closed and virtual learning is still in effect. But for many households with only one device to share or none at all, homework assignments aren't the only challenges students may face. Teens and High senior Jennifer Roberto and her mother Darlene are accepting community donations for laptops, iPads, phones, and desktops to help meet the needs of students in the community. For more information on how you can donate to the device drive, or if you know or are an elementary or high school student in need of one, email Darlene Roberto at robertodarlene@yahoo.com. We've got the information for the contact on our website at KUAM.com. And thank you for those two lovely ladies for doing such an amazing job to help out. Well, let's go up to Saipan now for regional headlines with KSBN2 News.
Hafa Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI. Starting Monday, September 7th, the CNMI will be back to a level blue on the community-focused economic recovery.
One of the highlight that's going to be that the governor and I will be sharing with the rest of the team is, making sure that ID presentation on establishments are provided or required here on. The other one will be pretty much working with the schools to get them back to normalcy. That is one big one that we will be pushing out. And CEO Munia had put a team together to work with PSS as well as other schools that we're still working on the reopening. CCI came up with a checklist to guide all the different district schools within CNMI, Ruda, and Tinian to facilitate themselves accordingly to COVID-19 adherence, safeguarding exposure. So these are the things that are major highlights, as well as curfew.
Villagomez says the curfew will still be in effect, but with later hours, which is still being determined. Another measure the COVID-19 task force is working on is a digitized database that will track individuals' whereabouts when they enter the establishments. This will be used to improve the process of contact tracing.
Yes, we are making recommendations to establishments that the front entry lock sheet be ushered by a member of their staff. So we are also in communication to see how we can digitize or build a database for our business community to enter those names into a much more controlled and organized fashion. So in the event that we need to do contact tracing, it can help us tremendously.
Details on the amendments to the directive will be released to the public this weekend, according to Villagomez, so that the community has time to adapt to the changes. For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN2 News, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Please stay tuned. We are back after this.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Want a real taste of New York? The Big New Yorker is back with a big, bold taste and a sweet marinara sauce on a crust that's 30% larger than our large. Handmade to perfection. It's just $9.99 per carryout. The Big New Yorker, only at your island Pizza Hut.
What does a brilliant cut mean to me? It means consistent quality, right across the age expressions. We never compromise on quality and flavour.
It's also the very particular cut of spirit we take to fill our barrels. Tasting it today is just as exciting as the first time I tasted it. That is the brilliant cut.
Small businesses are an important foundation in our island's growing economy. They provide essential goods and services to our community, while preserving local traditions and creating new job opportunities. Your responses to the 2020 Census of Guam will help small businesses receive the information they need to thrive for years to come. Respond today. Together, we can make a difference.
Our island is a gift that we have shared with the world. But in the stillness of today, our island is asking everyone to give us a moment. To be with our family, Ifamagonte, our children, our grandchildren, Itanota, our land, our thoughts, to be creative, Fanhongi, to have faith, to be with the things we know and the things you've come to love. Give us a moment, and we will share one together soon.
Nachos come with rules, like don't take the fully loaded chips, don't hog the guac, and never take the last one. But with the Grande Nachos box from Taco Bell, you can break all the rules, because this meal's all yours.
September is Suicide Prevention Month, and with the current COVID pandemic, it's got many experiencing lots of fears. As Cassiana Regis spoke with Bree and Chris on the link about the counseling services available as part of the Pinatnun Project.
Ever since the pandemic in March, and especially in the last few weeks, we found that many people are seeking services, seeking counseling services, psychological services, and just some sort of support during this time. We find that people have a lot of worries, concerns, lots of fears with the pandemic and the cases, and everyone's concerned about the health and well-being of their family. And so we've seen many people seeking services with us too.
Cassiana, I wanted to go to some of the graphics that we popped up here, and on you guys' Instagram. There's one: be the one to ask. If you think someone might be considering suicide, take the first step, and be the one to ask: are you thinking about killing yourself? You also have be the one to keep them safe. If you ask someone if they're thinking about suicide and they say yes, take the second step and be the one to keep them safe. Separate them from anything they're thinking of using to hurt themselves. It also goes on, be the one to be there. If someone you know is thinking about suicide, take the third step and be the one to be there. Listen to the reasons for feeling hopeless and in pain. Listen with compassion and empathy, but without judgment. And I wanted to ask, because it kind of seems like everybody that I know is just struggling, dealing with this pandemic, with the lockdown. Like you just said, there's just so many aspects from, I'm right, we could die, we could get COVID. People are getting evicted. They can't pay their bills. People are struggling, you know. So it kind of seems like a fine line from talking to people who are just struggling with this and differentiating those people when you talk to them from other folks who are having just a harder time and thinking about a suicide. So I think it's really key to reach out and not just talk to people and check on them, but also to listen to what they have to say, right?
Yes, of course, because I think like right now people know that, oh, you have to stay positive, you have to self-care, but it's also important to hear people's stories and give them that sense of understanding that they're being heard, because a lot of people are experiencing different types of emotions. So we're not just focusing on suicide and suicide prevention, but many people are feeling anxious, they're feeling scared, depressed, they're very lonely and isolated. And so hearing their stories and just seeing where they're coming from, hearing where they're coming from is the most important part of all, because you can say anything you want, but if someone doesn't feel heard, it's probably not helpful either. So just being there and asking and just being so immersed in their stories is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. What's the age group of the people that are calling? Is it just a wide range of people? Are we talking about little kids or older manamko that are calling?
That's a good question. We serve a wide range. We serve the whole age, all different ages. So we have parents calling in for children. We have adolescent-centered therapy for teenagers that want to talk. We also serve adults, so not just the students at the university, faculty, staff, and their families, but adults from the community. We have different ages, so old and young. We have families coming in, so all our services are still, we try to keep them as accessible and convenient for everybody during this time. So we make it available by phone, we have video sessions, and we have text sessions because we know that children also need someone to talk to, teenagers need someone to talk to, and sometimes the best form of communication for that age group is texting. So we try to adapt the different types of services during this time because nobody's able to come in right now. Right. And so it's been helpful for many people that have come to our center.
Can we just give out the numbers real quick, Cassiana? And how people can get a hold of you and work together, because we're getting some comments on that, and then we'll get back into it.
Of course. So, you want me to give the contact information?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can reach us at ESA at 735-2883. You can also email us at esa@triton.uog.edu. So all our services are supportive, client-centered, confidential, and free of charge. And this is not only for the university community, but the broader island community as well. So if anyone is needing services, you don't need to worry about anybody knowing about your services or paying any sort of fee. So everything is free and confidential. And so we have a wonderful team of counselors that are available and ready to serve the community.
For the full interview, check out KUAM.com. Coming up next, birthday shoutouts.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment. Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
All right, today, of course, being Labor Day, we are going to work extra hard and labor. See what I did there? To wish some very special Guamanians happy birthday for the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. All right, everybody, happy Labor Day and happy birthday to Cadence Sudo, happiest 5th birthday cadence from Mommy, Daddy, Jana Lynn. They all say they love you so much. You are our one birthday celebrant on this wonderful day. So we hope you have a safe, happy, and healthy birthday. All right, everybody, please make sure to register for the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club on KUAM.com. That's going to do it for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.
All right, half a day, and welcome to another episode of KUAM News Extra. Now, remember to follow us on social media, KUAM News on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as the YouTube page.